We start under the water. Well, the Spinosaurus has changed. Now to be more herbivorous. It still, walks on all fours still. So all the Dunkleosaurus, call it, it's still here. If we leave the snow, so there's still a few snow creatures we have to talk about. There's very rarely food. Only the Glyptodon could get food. They're built to leave creatures. They're also from South America. These ones, they're brown color with actually not feathers but fur. With the other species, it's feathers. This was the first fur. This was the first true rodent. The first true rodents. This was the early ancestor from others. Okay. This was actually very rare. And since it was so lightweight, they could live more in the snow. While these moas, they broke the ground. Yeah, it would really break the ground a lot. They would also kill the baby that did not. They would also kill these things' babies. So would these things. These things actually preyed on the eggs. So this is also how they hid if anything could eat them. Since if the snow is big enough, they can sleep in the snow. The babies can actually hide in the snow, even if it was a tiny layer, and water was not a problem. But this was only the Arctic. So as we leave the cold area, new area, it's time for me to clear the weather. I still want to keep cycle because I still think it's natural, but I want to get rid of it. Africa is now the. This is either Nassuth or Kothmuth. I don't even know at this point. There's so many Ceratopsians. The Rexes, they moved to Africa. So did the Thuc. How the Rexes changed. They now always seem like they have a smile. They lost their feathers. This is the Diplodocus. Changed a lot, huh? They came back because of the Rex. This was a Nassutosaurus, or Ceratops. They actually fed on the cactus. That's also how they get their spikes. From whatever in the cactus, that's how they get their spikes. So if you remove them and raise them in a different area, they would. These are spectral. They also live in South America, but they still live here too. The Diplodocus, they at least try to fight them, but they usually die. These were the first elephants. They were the first of the two mammals. This was the second mammal. This was an elephant ancestor. They ended up moving to more Asian places, and then bringing back the mammoth. Their descendants, you would have mammoth descendants. Mammoth, but actually the Stegosaurus. This was a different species of Stegosaurus, though. The other species lived in Europe. This species was tinier, but blended in more. Because predator actually didn't. Some predators were colorblind. There really wasn't much for Miles. Then there wasn't much for the person named Miles, too. This once thriving area, the Dimetrodon. Yep. Yep, I said the Dimetrodon would come back one day in my 1 out of 14. I said its ancestor was there, and guess I made that. And the forest fires? Yep, they're here. Or did they? Oh, they got put out. The Triceratops is here. So is Microceratops, whatever they're called. Very tiny. Triceratops. Every day. They get up. This was a creature this was Brazil over here. This all is Brazil. So the geography isn't the exact same, okay? Don't come after me. The forest fires were still raging. This was actually good for the environment. These were a raptor species, except they weren't named raptors. Females were gray, males were red. Just something rare where male and female are breeding. This is how male and female breed. They're inside of each other. Let's just see there was special male or female. That's both colors. See, this one has feathers instead of fur. And there's no difference besides that. Also, which color the majority? I mean, the orange still had the majority, but now blue. But blue is more common here, and we don't know why. Blue should be more common over there. But nature do be weird. Brazil. This was if the Spinosaurus learned to live on land instead of water. And these were rugops. These were the descendants of rugops. They're ancestors for most birds. These two, Ankylosaurus, Smilodons. There's only this was also the ancestor for humans, this creature. So there's 4 furred species. That's a lot. This was something that lived more in North America. Very weird. It had America or something. And that was the end of Brazil. Some creatures make it out of Brazil. But that was all because nature said, get out of Brazil. Now made it to North America. The Minmi, the Glyptodon lived here. The Glyptodon had less fur. But the Baryonyx lived here. So did the Deinosuchus, the T-Rex. So did the Amazon. So did the Triceratops. So did this species. So did this. The Utahraptor, a Cosmoceratops. Okay, I'm not very good with all these species names. Oh, these were a lot of sauropods. This was one of 2 rhino ancestors. This is more Americanized. But they would end up moving to Asia. But the Utahraptors went extinct here. But they still had a batch of eggs somewhere hidden. Here, this was still. Some Utahraptors did move over to here. You know those penguins you saw? These are the descendants. It's actually the tiny species, the big raptor species. Also, Utahraptors are here. Utahraptor, guess what? Lived in Utah, but moved from Utah. The more Cosmoceratops. Utahraptors also were caused from gigas, which means they should have lived in Africa. The or Rex thing lived here too. They covered all grounds. And bye.